Hola, gente linda. Hello, beautiful people. Hola is hello in Spanish, and gente linda means beautiful people in Spanish. I am Nelly Z. My goal for my YouTube channel is to study the topics for the licensed clinical social worker exam together and share this material with someone who may need it. My email address is learningtogethertobecomealcsw@gmail.com. Just in case you would like to contact me, and here is also my Facebook page, facebook.com/learningtogethertobecomealcsw. First, I want to share a quote to continue to be inspired and motivated to carry on with this journey. Okay, so I hope you like this quote. To win any battle, you must fight as if you are already dead, by Miyamoto Musashi. Again, to win any battle, you must fight as you are already dead. That's what we need to do. Continue fighting for our dreams. And we are continue reviewing the theory of racial, ethnic, and cultural development throughout the lifespan. And here are the links of the articles that I'm reviewing. I will post the links to this website below this video. I also post my email and Facebook page. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you would like to get more updates and topics related to the LCSW exam. Let's not give up. We can do it slowly but surely. Adios, mi gente linda, and many blessings. So I'm going to stop sharing the presentation, the PowerPoint, and we're going to go to the article that we were reviewing. I'm going to share that. We studied last time the social identity theory and the details. Now we are the identity formation theories. These encompass various psychological theories, including identity diffusion, identity foreclosure, identity moratorium, and identity achievement, which can be applied to understand how people develop their culture and racial identities throughout the lifespan. Among these Erickson's stages of psychosocial development, most prevalently, they identify versus role and confusion stages, James Marshall's identity status theory, and Jeffrey Arnold's theory of emerging adulthood. Details. Let's go to that. Identity formation. Identity formation, also called identity development or identity construction, is a complex process in which humans develop a clear and unique view of themselves and their identity, self-concept, personality development, and values are closely related to identity formation. Individualization is also a critical part of identity formation. Continuity and inner unity are healthy identity formation, while a disruption in either could be viewed and labeled as a normal development. Certain situations like childhood trauma can contribute to abnormal development. Specific factors also play a role in identity formation, such as race, ethnicity, and spirituality. The concept of personal continuity or personal identity refers to an individual posing questions about themselves that challenges their original perception, like, who am I? The process defines individuals to others and themselves, Various factors make up a person's actual identity, including a sense of continuity, a sense of uniqueness from others, and a sense of affiliation based on their membership in various groups like family, ethnicity, and occupation. These group identities demonstrate the human need for affiliation or for people to define themselves in the eyes of others and themselves. Identities are formed on many levels. The macro level is self-definition. Relations with people and issues are seen from a personal or an individual perspective. The meso level pertains to how identities are viewed, formed, and questioned by immediate communities or families. The macro level are the connection amongst individuals and issues from a national perspective. The global level connects individual issues and group at worldwide level. Identity is often described as defined consisting of separate and distinct parts, family, cultural, and personal professional. Okay. Many theories of development have aspects of identity formation include in them two theories directly address the process of identity formation. Erik Erikson's study of psychosocial development, specifically in the identity versus work confusion stage, James Marcia's identity status theory, and Jeffrey Arnold's theory of identity formation in emerging adulthood. Erikson's theory of identity versus work confusion. Erikson's theory is that people experience different strides of conflict through their life in 8 stages. Each stage occurs at certain point in life and must be successfully resolved to progress to the next stage. Particular stage relevant to identity formation takes place during adolescence. Identity versus work confusion. The identity versus work confusion stages involve adolescents trying to figure out who they are in order to form a basic identity that they will build on through their life, especially concerning social and occupational identity. They ask themselves the existential question, who am I and what can I be? This fakes the complexity of determining one's own identity. Erikson stated that this crisis is resolved with identity achievement, the point at which an individual has extensively considered various goals and values, accepting some or rejecting others, and understand who they are as a unique person. When adolescent attains identity achievement, they are ready to enter the next stage of Erikson's theory, intimacy versus isolation, where they will form a strong friendship and sense of companionship with others. In the identity versus role confusion crisis is not positively resolved, an adolescent will face confusion about future plans, particularly their role in adulthood. Failure to form one's own identity leads to failure to form shared identity with others, which can lead to instability in many areas and adults. The identity formation stage, where Erikson's theory of psychological development is a crucial stage in life. Interesting. Here is the Marshall identity status theory. Marshall created a structural interview designed to classify adolescents into one of four statuses of identity. Statuses are used to describe and pinpoint the progression of an adolescent's identity formation process. In Marshall's theory, identity is operationally defined as whether an individual has explore various alternatives, and main firm commitment as an occupational, religious, sexual orientation, and set a political value. The four identity status and James Martian theory are identity diffusion, also known as or confusion, the opposite of identity, the opposite of identity achievement. The individual has not resolved their identity crisis yet by failing to commit any goals of value and establish a future life direction. In adolescence, this stage is characterized by disorganized, risk thinking, procrastination, and avoidance of issues and actions. Identity foreclosure. This occurs when teenagers conform to an identity without exploring what suits them best. For instance, teenagers might follow the values of all of their parents or cultural norms. They might also foreclose on a negative identity or the direct opposite of the parents' value or cultural norms. Identity moratorium. This postpones identity achievement by providing temporary shelter. This status provides opportunity for exploration either in a breadth or deep example of moratoria. Common in American society include the college or the military. Identity achievement. This status attained when a person has solved the identity issues by making commitment to goals, belief, and value after an extensive exploration of different areas. Wow, interesting. We had to do a flashcard with this for status of identity, James Martian. I don't remember that I had reviewed this one before. Jeffrey Arnett's theory on identity formation in emerging adulthood. Jeffrey Arnett's theory states that identity formation is most prominent in emerging adulthood. Consisting of ages 18-25. Arnett holds identity formation consistent in indulging different life opportunities and possibilities to eventually making important life decisions. He believes this phase of life includes a broad range of opportunity for identity formation, specifically in three different realms. The three realms of identity exploration are love. In emerging adulthood, individuals explore love to find profound sense of intimacy. While trying to find love, individuals often their identity by focusing on questions such as giving the kind of person I am, what kind of person do I wish to have as a partner through life, work opportunities that people get involved in are now centered around the idea they are preparing for careers they may have to adulthood. Individuals explore their identity by asking questions such as what kind of work am I good at? What kind of work would I find satisfying for the long term? Or what are my chances of getting a job in the field that seems to suit me best? And the third one is worldwide. It's common for youth in the stage of emerging adults to attend college. There they may be exposed to different worldwides compared to those they were raised in and become open to altering their previous worldwide. Individuals who don't attend college also believe that as adults they should also decide what their beliefs and values are. Self-concept or self-identity is the set of beliefs and ideas individuals have about themselves, Self-concept is different from self-concept, which is an awareness of oneself. Components of self-concept include physical, psychological, and social attributes, which can be influenced by individual attitudes, habits, beliefs, and ideas. They cannot be condensed into general concepts of self-image or self-esteem. Multiple types of identity come together when individual and can be broken down into the following: cultural identity, professional identity, ethnic, national identity, religious, gender, disability identity. Cultural identity. Cultural identity is formation or idea an individual takes place in the culture they belong to. Cultural identity relates to, but is not synonymous with identity political. There are modern questions cultural that are transformed into questions of identity. Historical culture also influences individual identity. As with modern cultural identity, individuals might pick and choose aspects of cultural identity while rejecting or designing other associating ideas. Professional identity. Professional identity is identification with a profession exhibited by aligning of role responsibility, values, and ethical standards as accepted by profession. In business, professional identity is professional self-concept that is founded upon attributes, values, and experience. As a professional identity is developed when there is a philosophy that is manifested in a distinct corporate culture. The corporate personality. A business professional is a person in profession with a certain type of skill that sometimes require formal training or education. Career development encompasses a total dimensions, psychological, sociological, educational, physical, economic, and chance that alter a person's career practice across the lifespan. Career development also refers to the practice from a company or organization that enhances someone's career or encourages them to make practical career choices. Training is a form of identity study since it not only affects knowledge but also affects a team member's self-concept. On the other hand, knowledge exposition introduces a new path or less effort to the training, which prolongs the effects of training, promotes a strong self-concept. Other forms of identity setting in an organization include business cards, specific business by role, and task forwarding. Ethnic and national identity. An ethnic identity is an identification with certain ethnic, usually as a basic or presumed common genealogy or a center. Recognition by others as distinct ethnic group is often contributing factor by developing this identity. Ethnic groups are also often united by common cultural, behavioral, linguistic, ritualistic, or religious traits. Process that results in the emergence of such identification are summarized as ethnogenesis. Various cultural studies and social theory investigate the question of cultural and ethnic identities. Cultural identity adheres to location, gender, race, history, nationality, sexual orientation, religious beliefs, and ethnicity. National identity is an ethical and philosophical concept where all humans are divided into groups called nations. Members of a nation share a common identity, usually common origin, in the sense of ancestry and parentage or descent. Religious identity. A religious identity is the set of beliefs and practice generally held by an individual involving adherence to codified beliefs and rituals and studies what central cultural tradition, writing, story, methodologic, and faith and mystical experience. Religious identity refers to a personal practice related to a communal faith along with rituals, communication stemming from such a condition. This identity formation begins with an association in the parents' religious contact. Individuation requires that the person chooses the same or different religious identity than than other parents. Gender identity. In sociology, gender identity describes the gender which a person identifies, whether one perceives oneself to be a man or a woman outside the gender binary, but can also be used to refer the gender that other people attribute to the individual on the basis of what they know from gender role indications, social behavior, clothing, or hairstyle. Gender identity may be affected by a variety of social structures, including the person's ethnic group, employment status, religious, irreligious, and family. It can be also be biological in the sense of poverty. Disability identity. Disability identity refers to particular disability that an individual identifies with. This might be something as obvious as a paraplegic person, identified as such, or something less prominent, such as a deaf person regarding themselves as a part of local, national, global community of deaf people culture. Disability identity is almost always determined by a particular disability that an individual is born with, so it may change later in life if an individual later becomes the sake of when an individual later discovers a previously overlooked disability. Particularly applicable to mental disorder in some rare cases may be influenced by exposure to disabled people as with body integrity dysphoria. Political identity. Political identity often forms the basis of public claims and mobilization material and other resources for collective action. One theory that explores how this occurs is social movement theory. According to Charles Tilty, the interpretation of our relationship to other stories creates rational and construct of political identity. The capacity for action is constrained by material resources and sometimes perception that can be manipulated by using communication strategies that support the creation of illusion time. Interpersonal identity development. Interpersonal identity development comes from Martian's identity status theory. It refers to friendship, dating, gender roles, and recreational as a tool as a maturity in psychosocial aspect of an individual. Social relation can refer to a multitude of social interactions regulated by social norms between two or more people, which each having a social position and performing a social role. In sociological hierarchy, social relations is more advanced than behavior. Action, social behavior, social action, social contact, and social interaction. Informs the basic concepts like social organization, social structure, social movement, and social system. Interpersonal identity development is composed of three elements: categorization, assigning everyone into categories; identification, associating others with certain groups; comparison, comparing groups. Interpersonal identity development allows an individual to question and examine various personality elements, such as ideas, beliefs, and behaviors. The actions or thoughts of other create social influences that change an individual. Example of social influence can seem in socialization and peer pressure, which can affect a person's behavior thinking about oneself and subsequent acceptance or rejection of how other people attempt to influence the individual. Interpersonal identity development occurs during exploration of self-analysis and self-evaluation, aims at various times to establish an easy to understand, consolidate sense of self-identity. Interaction, main article, Helena Delacti. During the interpersonal identity development, and exchange of proposition and counter proposition occur, resulting in quality transformation of individuals. The aim of interpersonal identity development is to resolve the undifferentiated phases of an individual, which are found to be indistinguishable from others. Given this and with other dimensions, the individual is led to contradiction between the self and other and forced to withdraw of the undifferentiated self as a truth. To resolve the incongruences, the person integrates or rejects the encounter elements, which result in new identity. During each of these exchanges, the individual must resolve the exchange before facing future one. The exchanges are endless since the changing world constantly present exchanges between individual and tasks allow individuals to redefine themselves constantly. Collectively, identity. Collectively, identity is a sense of belonging to a group. The collective is the strong and individual who identities with the group will dedicate their lives to the group over individual identity. They will defend the views of the group, take risk for the group, often with a little to no incentive for correction. Collective identity often forms through a shared sense of interest, affiliation, or adversity. The cohesiveness of collective identity goes beyond the community, as collective experience grief from the loss of a member. Social support. Individuals gain social identity and group identity from their affiliation in various groups, which include family, ethnicity, education, occupational status, friendship, dating, and religion. Family. One of the most important affiliations is that of the family, whether they are biological, extended, or even adopted family. Each has its own influences on identity through the interaction that takes place between the family members and with the individual. Researchers and theorists stated that an individual identity, more specifically an adolescent's identity, is influenced by people around them and the environment in which they live. If a family does not have an integration, it's likely to cause identity diffusion. One J. Martian for identity status where an individual has not made commitment and does not try to make it. Apply to both male and female. Peer relationship. Morgan and Corot performed a study in order to analyze influence same-sex friendship in development of one identity. The study involved the use of 24 same-sex college student friendship and trial and consisting of 12 males and 12 females with a total of 7 and 12 participants. Each triad was required to have known each other for a minimum of 6 months. A quality method was chosen as is the most appropriate assessing the development of identity. Semi-structured group interviews took place where the students were asked to reflect on historic experiencing concerning relationship problems. The results show 5 common responses when assessing this relationship problem. Joking about the relationship problem, providing support, offering advice, relating other experience to their own similar experience, providing encouragement. The results conclude that adolescents actively construct their identity through common themes, conversation between same-sex friendship, in this case involving relationship issue, the common theme of conversation that close peer themes to engage and helping further the identity formation in life. Influences on identity. Cognitive influences. Cognitive development influence identity formation. When adolescents are able to think abstractly and reason logically, they have an easier time exploring and contemplating possible identity. When adolescent has advanced cognitive development and maturity, they tend to resolve identity issues more often than age-mate that are less cognitively developed. When identity issues are solved quicker and better, there are more time and effort put in developing that identity. Scholastic influences. Adolescents that have post-secondary education tend to make more concrete goals and a stable occupational commitment going to college or university that can influence identity formation in productive way. The opposite can also be true where identity influences education academic. Education's effect on identity can be beneficial for the individual identity. The individual become educated on different approaches and paths to taking the process of identity formation. Social cultural influences. Social cultural influences are those of a broader social and historical context. For example, in the past, adolescents would like just adopt the job or religious beliefs that were expected of them that were akin to their parents. Today, adolescents have more resources to explore identity choices, more options for commitment. These influences become less significant due to the growing acceptance of identity options that were once less accepted. Many of the identity options from the past are becoming unrecognized and less popular today. The changing social cultural situation is forcing individuals to develop a unique identity based on their own aspirations. Social cultural influences play a different role in identity formation now than they have in the past. Parenting influences. The type of relationship that adolescents have with their parents has significant role in identity formation. For example, where there is a solid and positive relationship between parents in adolescents, they are more likely to feel freedom and explore identity options for themselves. A study found that boys and girls' identity formation is positively influenced by parental involvement, specifically in the area of support, social monitor, or schooling monitor. In contrast with the relationship is known as a close in the fear of rejection or discontentment from the parent or other guardian is present, they are more likely to feel less confident forming or separate identity from their parents. Cyber socializing and the internet. See the internet, see also online identity, cyber psychology, sociology, and the internet has become an extension of the expressive dimension of adolescence. On the internet, you talk about the lives, content, design the content and make available to others, and assess the reaction of others in the form of optimized electronically mediated social approval. When connected, you speak of the daily routine and life. With each post, image, or video they upload, they can ask themselves who they are, try out profiles that are different from the ones they practice in the real world. So she also, okay. Okay, reference, okay, interesting. We know that Wikipedia can be an article that are not so valid, but it has quite a good information. So my dear friend, we're gonna stop here. We're almost done with reviewing the racial ethnic development throughout the lifespan. There is another article that I like to review, and is from Dr. Jan Akbar, and I think we will be done with this topic. I hope that you are enjoying the video, or at least it's useful. See you next time. God bless you. Bye-bye.